What is up, Sleep Tribe? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Healthy Sleep Revolution podcast. I am your host, Dr. Meghna Dassani. Today's episode is brought to us by Thrive Therapeutics 5-in-1 calming gummies for kids as well as adults. I'm a huge fan. My kids are huge fans as well. I do believe it's available on Amazon as well as Shopify. Give it a try. Today's episode, I wanted to talk about the link between insomnia and loneliness among older adults. Do restless nights make for solitary days? It is not uncommon knowledge, right? We know that as we age, our sleep patterns change. And it's not uncommon for older adults to experience difficulties falling asleep and also staying asleep. It's a common theme that I see with my loved ones, also with my patients when I have conversations with them every day. But one thing that is important to consider is that a significant contributor to these sleep disturbances, which I do believe is overlooked a lot of times, is loneliness. Loneliness can profoundly impact sleep quality in older adults. Understanding this link helps us promote better health and sleep in the aging population. So then the question arises, what is loneliness, right? It is often described as that emotional state of feeling disconnected from others. It is a complex response to the discrepancy between what a person desires in their social relationships, what they want that to look like, versus what it actually is. So what it is versus what you want. And if there is a discrepancy, that response to the discrepancy is what comes across as loneliness. And unfortunately, it's a very widespread issue in older adults. It goes hand in hand with social isolation. We've all been there. COVID has exacerbated that for a lot of people. It's also the physical separation from social networks. The most common factors in the conversations that I've had that can trigger these feelings of loneliness is divorce, the loss of a spouse, the loss of loved ones or close friends, as we have people that get into that age where they're starting to lose their loved ones, retirement, or even just a decrease in social activities, and that could be related to their health. But on the other hand, insomnia. This is a sleep disorder, right? We've talked about this in previous episodes in great detail with other guests as well. It's very common. It's a sleep disorder that is characterized by difficulties in falling asleep, staying asleep, getting enough restorative sleep. So insomnia can lead to daytime fatigue, mood disturbances, and a general just decline in a person's quality of life. It is a very complex issue, and it has very many far-reaching consequences, but also contributing factors. And loneliness actually has been identified as a significant one of those factors. Now, research has shown that there is a connection between loneliness as well as insomnia symptoms in older adults. There was a study that was done at NYU College of Nursing, as well as at Duke University School of Nursing, and they looked at a group of about 9,000 adults that were ages 50 and up, and to actually get a sense of how lonely these participants felt. They used a social isolation index. I do believe it's called SEPTO's social isolation index, as well as a revised UCLA loneliness scale. And in this study, the researchers asked the participants to gauge how well they related to a series of statements, such as, I feel left out, or I have no one to talk to. And what they found was super interesting. They found that feelings of loneliness could provoke insomnia symptoms. And this comes through different channels, including some of which are like stress, anxiety, or even heightened vigilance. That was a big one for me. So then the question arises, how does loneliness impact sleep, right? There are several mechanisms that contribute to this relationship between loneliness and insomnia. A big one is rumination and worry. People that are lonely often engage in more rumination. They just get caught up in these spirals of thoughts, and worry about their social relationships. So there's like racing thoughts, one thing leading to another. You're going down rabbit holes, increased cognitive arousal. And all of this mental activity, all of this bouncing back and forth with the what ifs and in case and, all of those scenarios can make it challenging to fall asleep, to relax, just because your brain is super, super active. Loneliness can also trigger a state of hyperarousal. This basically characterized by increased physiological as well as psychological activation. And this basically disrupts the natural progression from wakefulness to sleep. Another important factor is if there's a lack of social support, right? We all need the social interactions. We need that in our lives. It is one of the things that constitutes healthy, just mental health, emotional health, all of that. And a strong social support system is important for managing stress as well as emotional well-being. Loneliness can deprive people of these essential sources of comfort, feeling safe, making them more vulnerable to sleep disturbances. And then loneliness also often coexists with symptoms of depression and anxiety. And we know that all of this can interfere with our sleep patterns as well. And of course, it's been linked to various health issues, including chronic conditions such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, obesity, all of which can affect sleep quality. How can you feel less lonely, right? A lot of times it's easier said than done, but I think it's so important to recognize this link between insomnia and loneliness in older adults and why it's so important, just so that once you can address the root cause of the sleep disturbances, it's easier to help address it. It's like I tell my patients, I even tell my kids this: if I don't know, I can't help you, right? So understanding and recognizing it is often the first step. Encouraging social engagement, encouraging our patients, our loved ones to stay socially engaged, go out, make new friends, be it in a church group, be it in a club. Volunteering is a great way to interact with different people of different ages, participating in group activities. If you play bridge, if you play pickleball, whatever that may look like, can help combat loneliness as well as promote better sleep. I'm a huge fan of CBTI, cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. This focuses on changing the thoughts and the behaviors that are related to sleep, particularly helpful for people that deal with insomnia that is caused by loneliness. Practicing mindfulness and relaxation, I'm a huge fan. Meditation, journaling, yoga, deep breathing exercises, all of this can help reduce cognitive arousal as well as help improve sleep quality. Seeking out communities, creating supportive communities and networks for older adults. This can be key. It can be instrumental in reducing loneliness as well as its related sleep issues. So if travel or mobility is an issue, the power of social media, these communities can be technologically based. FaceTime for the win, video chats, interventions via AI-powered companion robots. All of this can be super effective. What's key here and what I'm trying to bring to light is that this link between loneliness and insomnia deserves attention, especially in our older population. As our society continues to age, it is important that we implement strategies to reverse the negative effects of loneliness. And by addressing the emotional as well as social aspects of aging, we can help to promote better sleep, better health, mental health, better quality of life for our older population. I hope this actually gets you thinking into how we can help our aging population, of course, feel less lonely, but also get to better sleep, better quality sleep, help combat their insomnia. As always, if you know somebody that could benefit from this information, make sure to hit share and drop your questions. If there's anything that you want me to talk about, look into, discuss, you have any questions, drop it in the chat. Find me on Instagram, Healthy Sleep Revolution. I will see you next time.